I go drink to that.
We in the rum shop.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
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 So bring a rum, bring it come in the rum shop talk.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So bring a rum, bring it come in the rum shop talk.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, and we're in the rum shop. You just have to pause for the bacchanal to stop so you can open the show. Matterson on his way from South, so he running late. So tonight, co-hosting duties fall to Miss Indira.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Joined today in the rum shop by the one, the only,
Oh Lord.
Mr. Ronnie McIntosh.
Oh Lord.
Yeah,
Good afternoon, sir.
my big brother. And a special guest today, here to wish the whole Parliament a Merry Christmas, is Miss Nazma Mullah. Well-known former journalist, you were a journalist.
Yes.
And you're a cannabis advocate.
Yes. Social justice, environment.
Social justice.
Yes. Social justice and environment, and cannabis falls under both.
Excellent. Well, we could take it from there if you don't mind, because I wanted to ask you something. This morning I did a live video, and I was talking about yesterday, for the first time, the Trinidad Express published, they might fire the editor for what he writes, because yesterday the Express published the truth in an editorial, and I will read it later if we have the time. But one of the things it mentioned is the human rights atrocity taking place in our jails with people who are convicted of nothing, languishing in jail. Spent more time in jail than if they were convicted and given the harshest sentence that the law allows. They did longer than that. And nobody dealing with that. Wayne Sturge told me that the majority of them in there on marijuana charges.
Still?
Yeah.
Imagine that. And Faris promised to expunge convictions, yes, if he had expunged convictions, the people who are in there for less than 60 grams should have been immediately released.
Did that happen?
We don't know.
It would have been big news. They would have celebrated that. They would have taken advantage of that and walk around and beg up themselves. I didn't hear anything about that. So if they did it in secret.
Yeah. Listen, that whole ganja thing is a hotbed of mess, because right now people need it. The medication for cancer. We have a lot of cancer in Trinidad. And that is one good way, the Rick Simpson oil. The use of cannabis to help you with chemotherapy symptoms.
So we can set aside smoking it right now. We're talking about making
medicine.
edibles, oils, medicine.
Extracts.
But
Medicine.
Actually making it as
Yes,
medicine.
yes.
Because a lot of the things we take, a lot of the Panadol, Tylenol, Advil, all those things started off as normal people getting drugs out of nature, you know.
Yeah.
And pharmaceutical companies come and take
They isolate the chemical compound or the element that they want to use, and they remove it from the natural setting and put it in a pill or in an injection or in a liquid. We want to do the same thing for cannabis because it has the power to reverse cancer, to cure cancer.
Wow.
Yes, everybody knows this in the world except Trinidad.
I hear Biden, of all people, talking about letting people, clearing people's records.
Yeah.
Cannabis. If you say you decriminalize something, then everybody who have a criminal, I just say, anybody who ever had it as a criminal charge should have been
Expunged. But the Mercy Committee has not met in 3 years. This will be 3 years that marijuana has been decriminalized, and people still have it on their records. They can't get it expunged because the Mercy Committee just cannot be bothered to meet to do their jobs. Yeah, this is Trinidad.
Now, I don't smoke, but I know a lot of people who do. And I also know a lot of people who swear by the benefits of it. What is your take on it?
Well, no, I sit in here wondering how fortunate you could be that, like, let's say 2 days before they decriminalize the marijuana, you get hold for marijuana. And in the next 2 days, you know, it's normal. And you inside there still, I don't know. That's amazing. And as Nazma mentioned, you know, nothing happening. You're not even aware that there's a mercy committee. And 3 years, I mean, these are the things that you hear on a daily basis with these kind of... Yes.
Just sicken me about this country, because I keep saying this. The last time that I heard human beings do to each other what we doing to Trinbagonians, the world went to war. This is a human rights atrocity. We are talking about a percentage of our population are trapped in cages by the state. The dysfunctionality here is by the justice system.
Who advocated for that? If there's anybody out there, like...
Nobody. Not one person. You know what I don't understand, Ronnie? You know what I don't understand? As in everything that is take a hit in the country, the Afro-Trinbagonian community taking the largest hit there. And there is no leadership anywhere. And that's why Singing Sandra had said, no one to come to their rescue except Capleton and Buju.
Yeah.
Who in the PNM that telling you there's the Black Party riding for Black people? Because you have to be honest about it. If that was Syrian Charon in jail, Sabga, Abud and Hadid making noise.
Yeah. Well, they weren't going to be in the jail.
No, but I just say if it was,
hypothetically.
Whatever happened to that, as we in the rum shop, whatever happened to that case with a certain contractor, financier, who was charged with, is it rape? Or penetration, or 17-year-old
I don't know, this
in
is
his
why I don't
office.
read news. I can't
In
know
his
that kind of
office,
stuff.
he got bail at the police station. I believe.
You need, as a former journalist, because I know Kevin De Freitas, who used to work at 104 with Amar and them. I think he does one of the other stations now. But Kevin De Freitas, he tracks stories for years, just to ask. But I told him, I said, Kevin, Stevens and Johnson's break-in took 25 years. You were tracking for 25 years? Lorena Lucian's sister was the minor who was raped by the ranking officer in a police station. That case took 17 years. 17 years. And you have to ask yourself, what took the extra 16 years? What?
The judiciary, the police, the people who are being paid every single month without fail to do their jobs, and they're failing miserably, and we can't seem to figure out how to fire them.
Then there's this. Faris accidentally admitted when he was new, and he get in the government and he was new, because they get quieter, they put too much information in the public space, and they realize they set up themselves, because now, what you talk about when you met, you have to deal with. You can't just say the ground wet, mop it. Faris said it costs between $25,000 and $30,000 a month to house a prisoner.
Yes, yes. He said all those things when he was finally got around.
Yeah, brand new.
No. That was when they finally decided that local government elections come in and they're going to lose. So they need to give us the weed. So miraculously, it was a good thing to decriminalize marijuana. After you lock up people, 80,000 arrests in 10 years, suddenly the light has dawned.
Wow.
You understand? And he started telling you, oh gosh, we're paying so much money to keep these people in remand.
No, but I got this number from them early, like, when I keep...
Well, that was when he wanted to decriminalize and keep slapping him down in the airport and tell him, listen, that's not your business. Done that talk. That was when that happened, when he said he's
But
taking...
$25,000 to $30,000 to house them.
Yes.
Tens of thousands of dollars paid to Amalgamated Security Justice on time to move them up and down.
I had a very nice vehicle move me, actually,
Yeah.
with
Air conditioning?
yeah, of course, and they blocked all the windows. The windows are blacked out, and in front as well, so you feel totally claustrophobic, you know. And they turn on the siren, and yeah, I got a special.
If you work out the
VIP, you get
Yeah,
VIP treatment.
VIP.
I'm curious for why though.
Oh, for weed.
Oh no. Okay,
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
for weed.
If you, I want to stick on this point. If you work out the arithmetic of $30,000 a month, $360,000 a year, for somebody in jail for 10 years, $3.6 million.
There's some in there for 20 years.
3.6 million. I use that quick number for them to follow. 3.6 million, and you spend 400,000 moving them up and down, $4 million for somebody who you charge for thieving 2 bags of cricks in a highway.
Yeah.
$4 million, taxpayers' dollars. Somebody who's acting out of hunger, even if it's bad mind, even if it's wrongdoing, you just put them in an environment where you turned a petty criminal into a hardened criminal.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because you broke that person. You
Yeah.
can't
Plus,
spend 10
plus
years
inside,
in that jail.
inside you had to tough them up inside.
But exactly, you
Yeah.
just break that person, they're coming out there now tough.
And yes, they are coming
so
out
for $4
vexed.
million, you're going to set loose into society an angry man now. We have no concept of restorative justice. When the parliament meet and they talk these things, I wonder when they go home to sleep, if it don't dawn on them that this is people children, the people mother and father you're talking about.
They don't
that-
care. They don't care.
I think that conversation is just for in the parliament, on the parliament channel, and like when everybody walk out, I think, well,
Yeah, but then running these people have to be evil. I tell you, these people have to be hateful. Because this bothers me. I have been bringing this up for years. This bothers me. I want to tell you, any judge in the High Court could sign a habeas corpus to the Commissioner of Prisons and tell him bring every prisoner in remand yard
Yes.
to my court. Bring
Yes.
everyone.
And they did
And,
it.
and
They've done
separate
it.
them. Don't bring the murderers,
Mm-hmm.
don't bring the rapists, don't bring those on treasonous charges. Keep those. Everybody else, bring them. And go through them case by case in that court and ask them, what are you in jail for? Speakers? 2 stick of marijuana? You think what's in a call me? How long are they? 5 years? 6 years? 7? You're willing to plead guilty and go home today?
time served, yeah?
Time served.
Mm-hmm.
Time served. And if the President of the Republic had an ounce of the integrity she pretends to have, she'd be waiting outside to pardon them as they pass. That's the system working. Even easier. At the stroke of a pen, here I'm telling you, the DPP could discontinue every case.
Oh no.
So you don't even have to reach the judge.
No, listen. He has failed 5 times to prosecute a man for murder after 20 years, and he's going back for a 6th try.
At the same man,
The same man.
what of the double jeopardy? We don't have that in Trinidad. We don't have double jeopardy law.
Listen, we don't even have a distinction between murders, between me shooting you in a robbery, you shooting me back in self-defense.
Or hot blood or anything like that.
Or,
right?
you know,
all the different degrees, murder, the first
murder
the
is
second
murder.
Okay, but I'm asking you a question. In the United States of America, there's something called double jeopardy. That if they try you for a crime and they fail to convict you, even if you admit to the crime after, they can't retry you because they failed to convict you. Double jeopardy applies.
Those,
So
anything
here they could try a man 6 times.
fail and go back and say, listen, we want to have a 7th try. And the judge will let them go and do it. Yes, it has happened. The man's name is Kevon Weeks. He's been sitting in prison for 20 years. He's become a lawyer in the sense that he's had to learn everything about the law because his lawyers will shaft him. And I won't call names, but there are some very prominent lawyers who remain
How do you have a connection to him? Do you know him, his family, anybody?
people.
No, I'm just asking you because Saturday coming the 19th, I would like to have somebody come and speak for him. I'm now hearing about him, so you know we're going to talk
Yeah.
about him. I will make him a cause because
Yeah.
I want to find out more about
Sorry,
that.
it's Kevon Nurse. I'm sorry.
No problem at all, but I want to find out more about that because that is injustice.
Yes, it is.
Our justice system cannot be handing down injustice. The taxpayers cannot be paying for injustice.
We are paying
We
for
do
it.
that regularly. But I was saying to you, Jonathan, I want to get that information. I was saying to you, I show you all the ways that these 30, 40, 50,000 people could come out, you know. The DPP could discontinue all. Stroke of a pen. According to the Constitution, the DPP could come into even private civil matters and discontinue them. He has sweeping power. So he could say, you know what? This is an abusive process. These people have already served more time than they could have served if they were convicted and given the maximum.
But then he had to get a phone call from on
Discontinue.
top.
No, I don't know.
He can't
I want to
function.
believe,
Even though
he's
you have the power.
independent, he's independent.
No, he's not.
brother,
Even though he have the power and he's not independent, somebody will call him and say, hey, go ahead and do that. He can't get one and say do that.
but wouldn't you like that as your legacy? Let them fire me after. If you was a DPP or Chief Justice, them know where else for you to go. I mean, after this is what? A Shakonia goal, a wristwatch, a FIFA watch? All them want to be president? Everybody want to be president?
Sweetest job on the
That's the best retirement plan.
I want to be president.
Nobody can charge you, they can sue you.
Yeah, but no, he can't get up no morning and call. He can't call that shot. You know that he can't call
You know
that
what I'm
shot.
saying? But imagine that though. His name will go down in the street.
Nah, but he prefer to stay in his own.
In the corner.
Yeah, he said no in his zone. Yeah, you prefer to defend that team. That's
Okay,
what.
so any judge could do the habeas corpus time serve. The DPP could discontinue all. The president could pardon all. The police commissioner could drop all charges.
That's for them.
For senior officials of state that have the power to give liberty. I tell you, if you have a screening of Alex Haley, Alex Haley Roots. So because we only want to show them how you beat Kunta Kinte out of me. I bet you all them sit down there. They say, yes.
Yes, exactly.
I'm feeling it. I feel it in my spirit. But you have the opportunity to emancipate the people trapped in jail in Trinidad. That is an injustice. And I want you to understand what I'm saying. It's not an excusing wrongdoing at all. But I'm saying they have to have a system. And I know it's kind of heavy, but it's heavy on me. It's heavy on me because it's bothering me that I live in a country where the state, by the force of law, could collect taxes to pay all of these officers of state to distress people with that much injustice. Anybody who swore an oath to be a high court judge should feel ashamed that this is our reality. The director of public prosecutions, he should understand that this is weighing against him in the book of life. And if when we all die, that's all there is, well then only win. But if by the smallest, minutest chance, you bounce up a kind and benevolent God, what he will ask of you that you did with the power that you had.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Me and waiting until the all that time, you know, they are fucking no. They are fucking no. Seriously.
I agree.
Listen, people don't know what it's like to be in a Trinidad prison. And I want to tell you something. If I was living in Jamaica where I was living, I would have never get locked up for fucking weed. How I could get locked up in my own country? How could my bail be $350,000 Philip Alexander for some weed? And this is my first offense. Look,
Wow.
No,
No,
because
but
no.
that's crazy.
And I want to tell you, we have a very hypocritical society. So this is just me advising you. You can take the advice or not. There will be people who will miss
Don't bring the brand and set, you know. Don't bring the brand and set.
There will be people who
Don't bring the brand and set. No man, move that.
No.
Right, go. Don't bring the brand and set.
What you
They don't pay for that.
That's but they have people who will miss.
I find it should
She don't do that's what you do.
Yeah.
There are people who will miss.
You have napkins, right?
message
Give her a napkin to wrap it now, yeah.
I'll probably think.
and focus on any option I'm not using. I'm just saying that I'm not stopping you. I'm just telling you.
Oh, I can really rock
that,
shop.
yes, we are, but you see the reality of the hypocrisy of Trinidad and Tobago. And I've been dealing with that as a politician.
Oh.
Trying to talk to people straight, but they want to focus on your tone, your mannerism, and the words that you're using.
Oh, please do. There's a reason why I'm using this tone and mannerism and these words. I hope you register my discontent. Because I'm quite capable of using very...
Industrial. And I know.
You just shut it down one time.
I know. And we could say way away from this, but I remember, about 20 years ago, I was sitting down on the corner of Carlos Street and Arapit Avenue where there was an open-air bar called Crowbar. Remember that?
Yeah.
And in those days, I wasn't a politician, so I was a darling to the media. I had plenty friends in the media.
Yeah.
And all of us was out there drinking by Crowbar. And you see blood sugar, right? So you're good.
Yeah, good. I just don't want them to get our mileage now.
Yeah, no, I agree.
They're not supposed to get the mileage for free.
and here in the I wouldn't mind about no. Yeah. I was talking to some people in the media, and I asked,
Yeah. I'll wrap it.
why the front page of the Guardian and the Express and the Newsday don't have a little question every on the front page, every single day asking, who killed Akil Chambers?
Oh my God.
Yeah.
It's not even.
Who killed Akil Chambers? You know, that must never leave our consciousness as a nation. When you look at that, right, it is activism serious.
I just tell them people
No,
don't pay.
man. You see what It was Ronaldo who put the 2 bottles.
Yeah.
He said, I don't drink that.
No,
He
that's a
said,
pay.
It affect the shares. What company was Coca-Cola? I think it affect the shares in Coca-Cola, yeah?
Right.
Cristiano Ronaldo said, I don't drink that.
So by the time this get the 100,000 views, this is free mileage, not me. Anyway, cheers. Yeah.
Actual chairs in your rum shop.
Actual shares.
This is crazy.
Right, David, you could zoom in on me now. No labels.
Ronnie did that already.
No labels, right.
Yeah, but no, but I was thinking to myself this morning that it cannot be that we have so many people living so high off of the public purse and not one of them infected with a little conscience, boy, or a little heart.
No. Nah.
Not one of them to say, I ain't signed up for this. You put me in a position where I have power and I can't use my power to help people. What's the point of this?
Everybody holding the corner. I remember everybody had to eat, you know. So I'm even though in your mind you might lie down in the night and you know you get a little something coming in your head. You can't. When next morning come and you put on your pin and your tie and thing, and you're going on beat your desk.
Hold the line.
You're going on beat your desk. Yeah. So nobody didn't say nothing. Everybody
Yeah,
just.
you can't be naive. I mean, this is what people do. What we have to do is to put in checks and balances. Put pressure on them to do what they have to do. That's what we're here for. That's why you have activists. That's why you have people who influence the society to wake up. Because the thing is, people in Trinidad, we well off. You could feather your nest. You could smooth. You could mama guy people when you have plenty of money to pass around. That's the whole point of getting into politics. And now you have the power. You could fly 50 people from Roxborough performing troop to New York if you want. Like that, you could. You know, so that happens all over the world. India, Nigeria. What are we doing in Trinidad and Tobago to put checks and balances to make sure that stops? That is what we should be focusing on. What is the Auditor General doing? The Auditor General is supposed to be keeping tabs. Is he finally rope from the zip line that never happened in Tobago?
The only person as here take the Auditor General report seriously is Robert Amara. Every time an Auditor General report come out, Robert Amara go and get that report, and for days on his radio station, he's been reading all of the entries and going back and checking. I mean, he's doing a good job at that. He's go back and check and see what it was budgeted. But we don't have any organization of state in Trinidad responsible for that.
But a budget, right? So the budget, and when you're reading the budget, there's no accountability from the last budget. So a man say, well, give me 55 billion this year, right? So you give him the 55 and he go on. When he come back the next year, he say, well, give me 60. But then he already telling you how the 55 went. I mean, in a mini mart, in a parlor.
Like,
you know.
like the 300 million yesterday that they signed again to find out why we flood. A next study, $300 million yesterday, why it floods. They signed that yesterday.
Yeah, but who do that? Or who
That's
is going
government.
to do it?
That's government. That's state. That what Ronnie's saying is the eat a food culture. As long as you're willing to stand and toe that line and partake in the evil, you can eat your food. $300 million to say rainfall, you have no if the water run, that's why it flood. $300 million, pies and grabs.
And that's the thing, people need to, as she was explaining, we need more people, activists, anybody. We need to ask why, where it gone, as you say, and it can't be today it's breaking, tomorrow it's not breaking.
But see, it benefits everybody,
answers.
it benefits both
it's
sides.
not supposed to benefit sides, it's supposed to benefit the people.
Well, yeah, but that's not what's happening. There's no benefits to the people
no,
now.
People start to wake up and shake up and understand that things not adding up here.
Because the people themselves who might want to say something or afraid to say something as well, because they also getting a small dust out of, a small little dust on the side. So and they'll.
You going in grocery?
Yeah.
Oh, that's why you get dust in the grocery.
No, I don't know.
What you're talking about is when they tell you break off something there for me and I good.
Yeah.
What you talking
So
about?
I could turn my head.
Just between
People
a
for
couple
sale.
people, it's still.
Yeah.
What about the rest of the community?
Because this is what happens when you stand up, and Nazma can tell you. When you stand up against the power structure, the first thing they try to do is intimidate you. They send all their trolls on social media. I mean, they assassinate your character, they eviscerate your soul.
Yeah.
And you have to have immeasurable strength of character to rise above that, survive that, come out of that still. Your integrity intact. Then, if they didn't frighten you away, then money had to spend. If basic scare tactics didn't chase you, money had to spend. They have two levels of money to spend. The first level of money to spend is to buy you.
Right, yeah.
That's why you see so many people you wonder, but you wasn't fighting for a cause. What?
Yeah.
The first level is money to buy you. And the money to buy is not look $30 million. The money to buy is what business you in, what business your family in, right? Yeah? And even if you're not in a business where they can give you money, if you're in the clock business, and they give you 600 HTC house to build, and you sit down with your family and you work out, what's the financial benefits to generational wealth of 600 HTC house?
You will learn to build house.
You will learn to build house. And if that don't buy you, the next piece of money is people to remove you from the conversation. If you are a sufficient enough threat, Selwyn Richardson, Jean Miles, Dana Sitahan, if you are a significant enough, just as Trinidad and Tobago, I asked who killed Akim Chambers, Dana Sitahan case, how long have going on? How long Dana Sitahan case?
About 10 or 11 years.
Fellow named Ryan Aziz Hadid. You said write for the Guardian.
Yes.
You said write for the
Get
Guardian.
prosecuted quick.
They catch him, they charge him, prosecute him, sentence him. What was that? 12 months. In Trinidad, that case would have gone for 20 years.
I don't think you think Dana's case has left the magistrate's court. I don't even think it has reached the High Court yet. I think they're still going through the preliminary inquiry or whatever. And if you see the drama to get those 10 men into the court, if you see money spending every time those
They had to
10 or
be.
11
You had to
fellas-
close sentences straight
Yes,
like money.
and 3-4 big maxi and justice on time buses. Yeah.
Land where crime pays.
Of
Clearly.
course, if they did not keep the society as it is with their boots on our necks of the poor, who would be working for slave wages and KFC and
Packing fries in a box.
yes,
50,000 security guards.
yeah,
50,000 security guards. That is the population of Tobago. It's as if every Tobagonian was a security guard. That is the size of our security guard population of my family. What we secure it. So 50,000 security guards because security guard contracts lucrative and big.
yes, and because the crime is so out of hand, you need security. So you have to have the crime, so people will be scared. So they will hire the security firm.
So
It-
leave the crime as it is,
It
basically.
has to stay. It
Yeah.
has to stay.
So you're saying that the way people just tell me, Philip, if you shut down this, you're going to put people out of work. If you shut down crime,
What will
you're
happen?
going to put people out of work.
Of course, Philip. Think about it. The catering in the jail. Let me tell you, I have to admit, the food, the vegetarian food I got was very good. I don't know, it's the inmates who are cooking. But whoever is preparing the food, that's money locked down there. If you don't have inmates, that contract,
Go on.
gone. If you don't have to transport them, if you don't keep the case running for 10, 15, 20 years,
Money grab.
Yeah.
how are these security companies going to function? This is big business.
Who in Trinidad do you go to with that? Or do you have to form a political party
You
and
have to
challenge the whole establishment?
Of course, because everybody is getting a cut.
So the whole system is corrupt and broken. And the only way to change it is to convince all of the voters to say, this not making sense. You had to try something different.
Well, as you
And
pointed
still
out,
have those who will know it not making sense and stuck in their zone, you know.
because
And,
they're getting
and they know it ain't
comfortable.
making sense.
They're comfortable.
Mm-hmm.
I wanna, but this morning, you know, I know some things, but as get reassurances of information I have.
It's so rich because of one Muslim man from Iraq.
See this fella?
In 19
This fella, I get this today, I shared with all of you. about 10 minutes long. And he talked about Norway. When the world was looking for oil, when oil was the thing, Norway looked for oil. Norway rarely looked for oil, they find no oil. Until Norway give up being in oil business. Trinidad in oil business since the start of the 19th century. Up to 1950, Norway now trying to find oil, then give up. Can't find no oil at all. There was an Iraqi gentleman who married a Norwegian woman living in Iraq. He's the fourth most powerful person in the oil industry in Iraq, so he's big. And back in the 50s, Iraq is a pretty place to live. His child born with cerebral palsy. And that is the accident of fate, that there is nothing in Iraq for children born with cerebral palsy, but there's plenty in Norway. So he and his Norway wife pack up their family and gone. So he landed in Norway. He quickly met with their ministries and asked them, what are they doing about oil? And they realized, because all the international oil companies had left, they have no oil in Norway, so they're gone. So they say, well, right, we need this man. He was a big man in oil. Let him keep searching, so they fund him. And he find oil. Besides the oil find that he found, they say we'll have oil in it till 2050. Right? So it busts in oil. But he got the government, before they had found oil, he had got the government because he saw what the experience was in the Middle East, and he got the government to agree to a couple of things. And one of the things he got them to agree to was that so that it doesn't destroy your economy and your society, all of the funds that you get from oil must be invested in a sovereign fund that belongs to
the
all
people.
people. What we call a heritage and stabilization fund, they call it a heritage fund, sovereign fund. And they did that.
But they don't touch theirs.
They can't, by law.
We just touch ours.
No, but they can't by law. They spend the interest, they spend a percentage of the interest on capital investments, maintenance and stuff. They then bridge and road and things.
Right.
As of now, as of today, each and every Norwegian has $242,000 saved in their name. Each and every citizen. 242,000.
What's their population?
I'll give you the exact figure now. But the reason I tell you that is, contrast and compare that.
What about visitors? If a visitor go, you can get like a half.
You want to go and join?
No, if a visit, you get half of that. 242 divided by 2.
You have to marry a Norwegian.
I just saying.
Make some Norwegian children.
I just saying, if you visit, you get 10%. I buy a ticket and just, spend our 2 weeks and collect and come back home.
No, but the thing about Norway is they develop their economy outside of the oil and gas. That's how they're able to do that.
No choice. They couldn't touch the sovereign fund, so they had no choice. Now I'll tell you this. Norway population. Wait, before that, no, Trinidad, we made and spent $3 trillion in oil. Norway has only had 1.3 trillion to save that money. They have 5.4 million people. We have 1.4. So understand what we're talking about there in money. 242,000 US for each and every person, 5 million people strong. Imagine what this country could have been. What did we get? When you look around, and people want to point out, but look, you have Napa, look, you have Sapo, look, you have Taruba. We owe for all of that. We owe China for all. That is the debt to China. The overpass that we just spent $1 billion on, $500 million in Diego Martin, the 21% overpass the Westbourne. China Railway put a big, strong brand in the concrete. So it's China Railway built that overpass, taxpayers paid $500 million for, that nobody needs. Nobody asked for. And all around the world, that's how China making its money right now. In little corrupt countries like Trinidad and Tobago, funneling taxpayers' dollars for wasted projects. Because they will sell you all the nappers, all the sappers, because they bring Chinese labor and Chinese machinery. So your taxpayers' money, paying foreign workers to to sell you stuff that you don't need. And they will secure it with the stuff that you do need. Your port, your airport, your pitch lake. So if they don't pay for Napa and Sapa, the baubles, the shiny crap, they'll take the important stuff.
Pitch Lake, as you say that, Pitch Lake has been in the budget?
You've heard it mentioned in the budget?
No.
I've been asking for years, why is it not a line item? It's paving millions of miles of road every year. Why don't
But we also sell pitch, right? So what's the income that we make from pitch? That's not in the budget?
I've been
So
asking,
that's a side hustle then? No, asking.
And Ronnie, these are the issues that Trinbagonians need to wake to hell up and talk about. Our telecommunication industry is being gutted and taken away from us. Two of the biggest industries in the world that will continue to be massive industries, money spinners for perpetuity: telecommunication and shipping. Ports. Port business is what Singapore is built on. Port. Singapore don't have oil and gas, but they have a first world economy. Singapore's economy eclipses the United States of America as the most developed economy. A country of 1/3 the size of Trinidad. Singapore is 1/3 the size of Trinidad.
I didn't realize it was that small.
And there are 5 million people. So that means our population can easily be 12, 15 million people and develop as a nation. We've never had a government. When you talk this conversation, you realize that we've never had a government with any interest in developing the country or the people. None. Dylan Carter is not a Trinidad and Tobago swimmer. Dylan Carter is a swimmer that lives in Trinidad. And have a difference. Our cyclists, our athletes, our runners, we have no program for them. They don't train here. If you have any skills at all, any ability, any talent, get you out fast. Because they will develop it outside for you. I'll never forget the bodybuilder on an international level competing, begging.
Who can use the stadium?
No, this one was
Okay.
begging just for his stipend to pay for his meals. When you're a bodybuilder, your caloric intake and your protein intake and these fellas is operated like a science. How much protein you take today and that kind of thing, right? He couldn't get the support from China. The Americans or the Canadians was feeding him. And he had to shift.
Talking about food, Philip, at this stage of the game, we cannot even, let me not even talk about the athletes. Let me talk about the children and their nutritional needs and how we're going to meet them. Are we going to feed them on Zumas and Domino biscuits and tea time? What is going on in this country with regards to diabetes? On the one hand, the Minister of Health talking about diabetes and children so fat. I see a little boy pass. If you see the size of him, going with a packer.
That's my homie, to be honest.
Yeah, we had to talk to him.
I do.
But can you feed them? Can you find a putigal? You tell me where to find a putigal in Port of Spain.
Find a governor.
$6.
Pumarak.
Find a Pumarak.
I've been
So
looking at
Find
there.
a Pumarak. The fiber, I tell people the fiber in a Pumarak, men over the age of 30, the number 2 killer, man, is colon cancer. The number 1 is prostate. The things you're talking about, prostate, to fight prostate, you need a high lycopene diet. Things like orange and red and yellow, pawpaw, squash, tomato, lycopene, carrots, isn't that? So that helps prevent prostate cancer
Which is very high.
from developing. Yeah, I mean, they say after a certain age, everybody have it, right? But colon cancer is a real thing. And what you just mentioned there, our processed flour diet makes our digestive system lazy to expunge, and things get stored along the way that shouldn't, and causes cancer in your system.
No, but we
The
want
thing
is
is-
doubles. Everybody needs to
The
be a
thing
doubles
is,
and
what people missing the point, it's easier and it's cheaper to buy a pack of Zumas than to go and buy an orange that is $5 or apple that is $5.
But
for
we live in
one.
the tropics. Why
No, but
is
you
this
understand what I'm saying. So
happening?
this is why people, they just
That is in
naturally,
reality,
that's the
no.
money that they have. That's all that they could
Yeah,
do.
but that is deliberate policy. because you cannot tell me in the tropics where you can grow anything all
I
year
tell
round.
people you spit a pawpaw seed on the ground, come
It
back
will
tomorrow
grow.
on the road. We have 90,000 acres of designated farmland idle. 90,000 acres.
I think
68,000 from Carnival, the rest from Clico and Petrogen. Idle. We have 30,000 registered farmers begging for land. You gotta give them the land. You could make the land available in a public-private sector agreement
I think that's the most important thing right now.
and grow
Yeah.
food. I tell somebody, Shagaramas, you could plant 200,000 breadfruit tree in Shagaramas. One breadfruit tree feeds a family of 4 for 75 years. So if you plant 200,000, you plant a breadfruit a person every single day. You don't eat breadfruit every day. But then you know, you never have to starve again. You're talking diabetes. Breadfruit is the only starch that is low glycemic. You know that, right? It stabilizes your blood sugar, unlike flour and rice and English potato that spikes it and leads to diabetes. Just that. But when you mention Pomeroy there, and I say these things because agriculture is one of the things, food production is one of the things I wonder if the people of Trinidad and Tobago don't understand how much their lifestyle, diet, nutrition, you talk about nutrition for the children. I was talking to somebody and I was explaining to him, if you can't feed your developing children, your toddlers and your little children properly, they're not going to do well in school.
Well, you know, I hear Dr. Nyan Gadsby Dolly talking about military school for children who are not behaving, and all. They go in the opposite direction where the rest of the world is going. The rest of the world is saying, let us try to understand what has happened to these children in the 2 years of lockdown, mentally, psychologically, socially, you know? And the
How do we
fact,
bring them back into our community?
how do you re-socialize them into being a
Correct.
part of a society that is functioning where you could hug people and you
Yeah.
could talk your feelings and you know?
They don't like to take direction from teachers because they don't know how that works. The first time, like, kids now going back out,
By telling you how I was in
they
school,
don't know how to deal
how
with
I was
that.
in school, and if we go into school after, as you say, after 2 years of a lockdown, it was even worse. Even worse. You're not my mother, you're not my father, you can't come to me. So
Just after summer vacation, we go
So
to
you're
school,
right.
it's just like,
you have to cheat, you have to re-socialize these children.
No, but you have experts who will tell you exactly what is happening and why. And the diet, the school feeding program, are they feeding them fruits, vegetables, or is it more rice and chicken and you don't know
Are you checking their blood sugar to see what is affecting them chemically?
what is happening at home? The parents are unemployed. What do you think? Children are living in a
Bubble.
The bubble. They're not realizing all the tension,
Insulated from
all
the
the
stress.
murder, all the mayhem. They're not afraid to. You know, we are living.
When you're a parent and you're raising a child, you could see the things and you could see how the day-to-day life disturbs your child's well-being. All of that. Our education system is not set up for that. We said in our party policy that if you have 200,000 children in the school system, you need 200 purpose-built schools that are built with those things in mind. How you're feeding the children. You shouldn't have a school feeding program that bussing food all over the country. Your kitchen in your school, feed your children.
Yeah.
Give somebody that contract, and that is what, you understand what I'm saying?
Exactly.
They're doing that in that school. You providing the real estate, the facilities, the stove, the fridge, the everything. So you can even create 200 small business people. You want to come and run a catering for 1,000 children because it's 200 by 1,000 is a school. And you could have counseling, psychological counseling, so children who acting up.
Let us not even talk about that. There is one social worker in St. Augustine Secondary School which has 1,200 children and she's being shared with another school. So she comes 2 days a week, right? But
so everybody get 5 minutes.
you understand? So I don't know. I mean,
But that's what it's deliberate.
yes, of course it's deliberate, but and being outraged doesn't help.
No, but that's what's deliberate. And I want to say this, right? This bottle in my hand, this is a plan. I want to sell water. So I need a source of water, I need the means by which to treat the water. I need something to put the water in, and I need to be able to distribute the water. That's our plan. In a country today, more rain fell on Trinidad today than we could probably use for the year. We throw it in the sea. If Trinidad had a proper water management policy, we couldn't sell the amount of bottled water we sell in this country, first of all. Bottled water was a fad and a style in the 90s. You remember that?
Yeah.
It was
I drink standpipe water, brother. We still here. Look.
But
And
rainwater
I
is
upgrade.
perfectly fine.
And I upgrade from
you get your
standpipe.
pure water in
I
there.
understand, but
No,
long
but
back
I
I
just
drink
say-
water from the standpipe.
Yeah.
No, but I'm just saying, right? So when you talk about any issue, it's breaking down like that. What do you want to accomplish? I want to control all of the meals in Trinidad. So the first thing I need to do is finance the two political parties to not grow food.
Yep.
If they're not growing food in Trinidad, then they have to import food. I want to be the person importing all the food. How am I doing that? I dealing with the workers on the port, so that if you compete with me and I bring in fruits and you bring in fruits, my fruits leaving the port in 24 hours, your fruits stand up for 6 weeks because your documentation flawed every single time. And by the third time you make an insurance claim because your fruit's not moving off the port, the insurer will tell you, find another business. This is for you.
Yeah.
Now, I just give you an insight into something that people don't understand how criminal corruption
Works.
So when you say that it's cheaper for this and it's cheaper for that, it's only cheaper for this and cheaper for that. If you plant your 200,000 breadfruit tree, you gotta water it, you gotta talk to it, you gotta fertilize it, you gotta weed it. It's there, bearing those breadfruits, and then you're getting that for 75 years. So the price of a breadfruit dropped to $1. A breadfruit now is between $20 and $30, depending on where you buy it. Right? Dropped to $1. And that $1 is to pay for the labor to pick up the breadfruit and bring it from there, pack it. You know, in America, you could, Canada, you could go to farms and you pick your own thing. You pay at $20.
We had it here. We were talking about in Chagramas. You pick. And where you going? Is it even functioning? Do even people even know?
It's a party venue now.
Okay.
Trinidad is that.
And they start have like
Trinidad is
restaurants
that.
or something down there too.
There is no plan. We live on 13% of the country, you know. All of that you see on the east, west, north, south, all of that is just 13. When you fly over Trinidad, you come in Trinidad, you ever look out the window and see the
When
expand.
I look out, you look through the window. Yeah, you can't look here.
You never wind it up?
No, never wind down the window.
Anyway, you look through the window, stand correctly, and see the expanse of black in the night. It's
That's
just,
the East Coast.
but the whole East Coast, from the West Coast, we're on a sliver of the West
Yes.
Coast, and the rest is the East Coast.
You must ask the Ministry of Planning, what is that all about? Why you only developing one side of the country?
They don't have a spatial plan.
There's no plan.
They
There's
don't
no
have a
plan.
spatial development plan. So any road that exists, cram development on those roads. If you had a government that was willing to find the geographical center of the island and build a new city there around the government campus that you say that we need, that brings the 250,000 workers to Port of Spain every day. So if you say that we need it and we have to have it, why we don't bring those workers to the geographical center of the island in a purpose-built campus, city around a government campus?
Oh gosh, Philip, don't give them no ideas. That is a
Nobody-
$5 billion plan
Nobody-
right there. They're
nobody-
going with, they're going
No,
and
they're not going to do it. I tell you why. I tell you why. Unless Doma build that, they don't want it.
Correct.
Doma want the 250,000 people coming down to buy brand pants.
Yeah.
That's why Patrick Manning, who knows this, I'm not making up no new ideas. Patrick Manning had that on his desk and still took the last best oil boom and gas boom money we had and built all them government campus in town. It's to keep the 250,000 brand panty shoppers coming to town. That's what it is. But if you built that purpose-built city, you know what you could have built? You could have built buildings now that green, that operating on renewable energy, that lowering your carbon footprint, that have locker rooms with showers, So if you want to come to work on your bicycle or running and you're reaching the building sweaty, you could go into the men's locker room, bathe, change, and come to work.
Yeah.
So that you're encouraging exercise, lowering the cost of the health.
No, well then you need bike lanes too.
But no, but you're building that
Yeah.
purpose built. What I'm saying to you is you could. Buildings that have a certain percentage of daycare facilities for young mothers.
Again, you'll be cutting a lot of jobs if people not
That is
stuck in
no, you're
traffic.
creating new jobs. What you're cutting is a lot of corruption. And it is the corruption that owns and operates the PNM and the UNC. And you have to face that. Because when they're arguing in the parliament, and I never ever want to move away from this conversation, it is not from a lack of knowledge. When you hear me talk about the maritime security wall to end the drug trade, I got that from the PNM. I didn't make that up. Patrick Manning had sent that out to tender. We had tenders from people like Fifi and China. We had tenders. I read documents. I met with heads of the military. I know this one absolute fact that the governments, plural, because after Manning was Kamala, after Kamala was Rowley. And those governments know
How to secure.
they know how to secure it. If you wanted the guns and the drugs to stop today, tomorrow it stop. You know how easy? You know how easy? If you're going to develop maritime security that secures Trinidad the way they secure Manhattan Island, the way they secured Cuba, they're securing Cuba since the 60s. Nothing in, nothing out without permission. And it's as simple as a phone call to Biden and Trudeau and Sunak and whoever and say, listen, we're going to stop the drugs that flow in through Trinidad. I need you to send a couple battleships just to stand up between us and South America so that nothing could come in untested. We will create a lane to our port. Everything comes there. You could have a multi-million-dollar boat trunk, park up in yacht club, jump in your boat trunk, go motoring out into the open ocean and come back. And nobody looking in to see what you're bringing. You're offloading and you're going to your house and go to the park. Normal. This is not a real country where those things are concerned. I'm saying to you, if you wanted to fix it, the last time I said that in a public forum, a friend of mine who owned a rent-a-tool company buffed me when he see me. Oh, because he's a member of Yacht Club. I'm not saying that everybody in Yacht Club can do it or will do it. I said they could. And there's nobody in immigration to stop you if you come back with your 4 Venezuelan friends. If you're trying to get, I remember when Gary Griffin was cracking down on illegal immigrants in the country. If you wanted to get into China, just come by boat. And when people say come by boat, it don't mean come up the Carnival in darkness. Come in Bayshore.
Yeah.
There's nobody. All of our Coast Guard vessels are supposed to be outside there with your face glowing green from the radar screen. Park up in Hartscott, making corned beef pilau.
What corned beef pilau? They don't eat corned beef. Hey, listen, the camp, the masters have the top of the line chicken and listen.
You would know better than me.
Just go on fish and thing on the
You would
jetty
know
and
better
then go
than
and
me.
cook after.
Don't get me wrong. I just say those minor details you would know that better. Me all I'm saying is, if the current and the past commissioner of police blame the controller of customs for the guns coming in the country, and he has not had to put out a release. Controller of customs has not had to have said anything that they're talking stupidness. He's not answering. They don't have to.
The scanner working now? Or the scanner not working? Because I heard people saying, it will take, if you unstuff all the containers, it will take too long to get you, to get your stuff. So, in other words, to speed up the process of your container getting to you with your stuff in it, just
we have
let the containers
two-way
come.
stations down by Movitown. So in the evening, you see the containers coming out in a line. We have 2 stations. We can go pointless as. If you move this port that starts at Hyatt and ends at Movitown, that's the size of the port. If you move it from there and put it in Point Lisas, those 2 stations could become 50. It's easy to say how much containers you're moving out of the port at a time. You're moving 50, we can build 50 stations. So pull up with your flatbed truck and open your container and take, because It's the same truck rental to go and rent the what you put the container on and the big truck to pull it. It's the same rental to say you're going to rent a 10-ton truck to come and take out all your car parts or your washing machine and dryer, whatever, move it from the container on the port into your truck and go to your business. But customs will be able to examine everything, any excuse that they give you. Singapore moves more containers in a half hour than we move in a year. So they're lying to you and telling you about speeding up the process. This wouldn't slow down the process if you prepare. And if you say that I do not want guns and drugs moving through my country, you could prepare for that. It is not massive work. A man tell me, oh, how you moving all them crane? But they're on a port. Come with a badge. Pick it up in this port and sail it up to Point Misas. All of these problems easy to solve. But it's wind them up and give them foolishness to come into the conversation. But I just saying to you that everything that you raise, diabetes, you could trace it to the source. Violence in schools, you could trace it to the source and then you could solve it. Why is that never our parliament's conversation?
Because they don't need to, Philip, it always comes back down to the famous words, bring the evidence. Unless you have evidence to change, to make them act differently, to lock them up, to make them, how are you going to move the bully? What are the measures in place? What mechanism do we have to change these people's decisions? It doesn't exist.
My foolish idea.
I have one here.
My foolish idea was, if you give the people knowledge and information, they would choose better.
Yeah, but that's just every 5 years. No, what happens? What happens in between with every decision?
In between, until you get a government into office that put things in place to protect the country, that puts those things in place. You have a country where media could be owned by private organizations and block who they don't want you to hear. And if it wasn't for social media, you think those 4 divers in Paria, you would have known about them if it wasn't for social media? If I didn't go down there, you think you don't know about it? A man lose his whole leg. And he came to me after I highlight this. I have messages from his wife. Or they coming to me, I coming to meet to them. They want to put it on tape because they promised them money, they never get the money, never get no compensation, you lose the leg. And at the day I supposed to meet with them, Satish Ramsaran could tell you, meeting cancel. People run in there, sort it out, distract the population, set up a commission of inquiry. Use state funds to distract and confuffle the conversation.
Yep.
And the actual media, where is it? Where is it on these important issues? Where is it? Thank God for social media. Social media make you a star with these t-shirts. Where could people get these t-shirts to buy?
I have them, you can...
Have yourself a Merry Christmas, Mr. Emma.
Yeah, December is right around the corner, man. Yeah, is this the season? This season?
It's the season.
And then there's Carnival.
Is this season?
After Christmas, there's Carnival.
Have yourself a Merry Carnival. Yeah. Merry Carnival.
So where people could buy these shirts, Nazma?
Well,
This is your thing.
Yes. I think Trinidadians and Tobagonians want a way to channel their distress. So this is my way.
Christmas greetings.
Yes, yes. Yes. So, it's a way to send your message without having to come out and hold a placard.
Right.
Because I think people are very, very disgruntled by the fact that we have $11 billion extra dollars to spend, but you take back the fuel subsidy. Why you do that? So, this is what Mr. Imbert is saying. The economy is doing well. We have...
No, but you never see where they rub your face on one side and slap you on the next. That's what P&M does. So you're walking away confused that you slap me, but you rub me nice now.
Nah, I ain't get it rubbed.
You ain't get it rubbed.
No, but I think people are very, very, you're right, it's very confusing for people to understand, but you're saying things that are going well, but what bothering you about the fuel subsidy? It's just $1 billion, right? When you think about the kind of billions, the billions that are thrown around all over the place, $1 billion for lawyers' fees,
But that
$1 billion.
same Imbert stood up in the parliament when Larry Hawaii was trying to move the subsidy and said, you are lying to the people. You are robbing the treasury.
Come outside.
The subsidy is paid for by the oil companies. He said that. These people are double-tongued deceivers. These people say one thing when in opposition.
You're real slow here.
Oh my God.
And say something else when they actually in office. It is convenient and it is nonsense, and I think that it is what have the people frustrated. But the t-shirt idea is a brilliant idea. I hope you have Christmas greetings for all of them.
All of them.
Both sides of the
Yes.
political divide.
Oh gosh, no,
We
well,
have stock. Plus up to now she didn't say where to get it.
No, because I want to tell Trinidad and Tobago that she will be Saturday coming
Yes,
to sell
yes.
set up us. So she coming to set up
Oh yes.
a booth Saturday
Beautiful.
at Bamboo #1, and you could come and get Christmas greetings for everybody.
everybody. The
And
whole-
Rowley, have yourself a Merry Christmas.
Well, you know, I have to do something special for Mr. Rowley
Yeah.
and Faris. I have a special place in my heart for Faris.
So the plan is to give everybody their own greeting.
their
Yeah.
own particular greeting.
Yes,
Oh, that's nice.
yes.
That's
Yeah.
very nice.
VIP,
Like,
VIP treatment.
Well, you know, they say try to see
That's
God
nice.
in everyone.
That's
So,
lovely.
I
You do
try
your
to.
thing. You do your thing.
No, but I think it's important for Trinidadians to stand up in some way, some manner, some form, and not feel like, you know, there's no resistance. That, you know, we've lost the battle and we just have to lie down and take it.
Nah,
You know?
I'd be gone. If I had to swim, not like Duke, real, I'd swim away. If I had to live in a country where I felt all hope was lost, I gone. People see me, they see my brother, Dr. Paul Elias Alexander. This is what my parents raised. We don't live in an environment where things get fixed and don't try. So if Trinidad ever reached to the place where the whole animal farm exists,
Yeah.
I gone.
Yeah, but where? That's the thing. The world has changed
No,
so
Mia
much.
Motney is an inspiration.
Correct.
Mia Motney is an inspiration.
All of we
I
can't go
would-
Barbados.
Huh?
All of we can't go Barbados.
You'd be surprised.
They will,
They
they
say,
will
the
rebel.
whole, they say the whole population of the planet could fit in Texas. They give us so much things to confuse us, that we walking around there with information, we don't believe the whole overpopulation going to tip over. No, there are more bees than humans. We just don't manage it properly. I don't want to go into global politics, but if the world was living where, you know, again, global politics, you know the African concept of Ubuntu? That
No.
is, I can't be happy if you're not happy.
Right.
A priest was doing this thing with his little children in the school, and he said, I have hidden candy in one of the trees. Who reach the tree and get the candy, all is yours. And they held hands and they ran together and they shared the candy. Everybody get. And that's how the world should be. That's how the world should be. And we could be an example to that in Trinidad. God give us a place pressed down and overflowing. We have the best of everything in the world. We have the most of everything in the world. We have more oil and gas, more sugar. People don't know Trinidad sugar. The Allies ran their war on Trinidad sugar.
We pitch.
Our pitch, our gas. We, for a
What became of our cocoa industry? That still exists?
No. And I read a story about H.E. Robinson, Sir H.E. Robinson, Sir Henry Robinson, and his daughter, and Maruga, and cocoa. You know, Tobago at one point was the most expensive real estate in the world because of cocoa. Trinidad and Tobago is so blessed. You know, we flared our gas for 100 years. For 100 years. That natural gas that we're living on now, we burned that because we didn't know how to do it. We had so much.
Well, that's our signature, waste. Because, I mean, seriously, everybody else is recycling, sorting. In India, this is 2003. I see about 5 different people come to the apartment. Somebody come for paper, somebody come for metal, somebody
Plastic,
come
yeah.
to just recycle. And we just throw it in the labas.
This, if you charge Dominic Hadid, or who's the guy with Chubby and
SM Jalil.
SM Jalil. Ali, is his name?
Yeah.
those two, Blue Waters and Chubby's, the two biggest sellers, two biggest contributors, all of them, at the manufacture or the import stage, put a 10-cent tax on us. Just 10 cents. I will charge you 10 cents out of your massive profits so that I could give people 10 cents if they bring this plastic bottle back to me.
Which I will then use or upcycle or make something useful out of it.
Ma'am, if you break this into shreds, you could use this in concrete construction to give it flexibility strength. You know that? That you can make longer beams. Because it is now, it could bend instead of break, concrete. And if you reduce it into pellets, you can add it to the pitch in the road to lower the road surface noise like they do in Germany. The plastic bottle is valuable if you know what to do with it, and it's just shredding and reduction. But if you pay 10 cents for this, all of the people who cannot get jobs.
Yeah, it's a form of income too.
It's a massive form of income. It's a massive form of income. I remember it's a line by Smokey and Bunting. There are homeless people stand up in the drain waiting for when you finish drinking beer and take the bottle when they used to have a recycling on the bottle.
I think bottle was 25 cents, I think, yeah?
I was just going to say, I think it will still be a lot because people have a mindset. Trinidadian people are sorry to say, kind of really nasty. You throw your bottle, you drink a soft drink, you throw the bottle on the ground. Wait out. Even me, Smoky and Bunting, you're lying there, you drink, you throw your bottle on the ground. The sprangers will pick it up because 10 cents is valuable.
You make me drink all of the water.
How much time we are
No,
recycling?
right, but you make me drink all the water to prove a point, right?
And that's what I do.
So to me, this is 10 cents. I can carry 1,000 of these
Oh, yes.
in a bag, right? Broken down like this, right? You see what I'm saying? This is 10 cents to me. So it's not like it's a difficult job.
It may sound like that.
No, I'm just saying that there are people, they are the homeless, there are people who will make this industry. Don't get it wrong. Same fellas with the old battery buying. See them? There are people who will create a business model out of this and end up with 6 van, 8 van, 10 van. They will drop the height. They will drop the height of the mountain in the lavas. They will take out all them plastic bottles. They will go down to the drains and find it. You could use this for scouts, for cadets, for school troops. You can make these projects in your schools and tell your children, tell the children in the class, the students, bring back bags of bottles and we will exchange it for cakes and ice cream or whatever. I mean, we don't talk cake and ice cream, but you have to have some kind of incentive to the thing. But you understand what I'm trying to say? You could turn the whole national psyche around. What she was just saying, in real countries, and you do that with metal, you do that with paper, you do that everything.
With compost. Why are we using fertilizer and we're throwing away pawpaw skin? All of our potato peels. This is a real thing, you know.
The regional corporation leading the way in that, you know. People don't know that the regional corporation leading the way in developing compost. When they cut all the grass, I did a video today. They cut all the grass, they put it in plastic bags, they tie it, leave it on the side of the road to become compost. I did a video on Crystal Stream Highway today. That the grass ready to cut again. And the last set of cut grass still there in bags.
I just literally said people are lazy.
But that's not lazy.
That's not lazy.
Paid for that.
That's not lazy.
We've paid for that.
Taxpayers paying for that service.
Because nobody's coming along to say, John, you were paid to do this, you lost that contract, or you're fired. There's nobody. We're living in a country where Howard hang it swing. John not getting fired because John lost Harry in bigger racket. And the racket
and John know about it.
No, not only that. The racket going up till it reach Rowley. It is that. It is racket. It is, you can't tell me nothing if you ain't doing what you're supposed to do. You gotta lead by example, not so?
Correct.
You can't be engaging in slackness and wrongdoing and trying to tell the people below you that they had to behave a certain way.
I'm not trying to be an ass, but right, every single thing that we do, once we do it properly, it takes a little out of you.
Correct.
If you're doing the right thing, it takes a little out
But
of
that
you.
is where leadership.
You'll be tired.
But that's where leadership. No, it's not about being an ass. It's where leadership comes in.
Just allow it to go because.
You know what we're doing? You know what we're doing? We're lowering the work ethics of the Venezuelans who are living in Trinidad.
Oh, don't worry. They will soon be replacing all the lazy trainees and
I know, but they realize that they don't have to work as hard as they was working to get the job. We lowered the work ethics of the Venezuelans that in Trinidad. They came here working harder at the start,
They came pumping, yeah?
but they realized
no, well, yeah, you're rocking the boats, yeah.
Trini moving 5
You're making
stone.
them, yeah,
I used to move 100 stone, but Trini only moving 5 stone, so I can move 10.
yeah.
And it was still look good.
I'm still looking
It's
good.
still looking good, yeah. 'Cause I'm moving more than the Chinese.
And this again is the functional reality of the conversation. Leadership is what is lacking in this country. You cannot have corrupt racketeers at the top and get good fruit at the bottom. You cannot. You have to have people who take that 8 to 4 seriously. And what I give my word to, that's what I'm going to deliver. In England, we watch them change prime ministers 3 times in a year. Because in England, more than that work and more than that salary is your place in society. Your place in society, your name and your family name and your integrity and who you are.
Well, not only that, the media in the UK are
Merciless.
very, yes.
Merciless.
They dread.
Yes,
brutal.
but what they're beating you with is that this fellow Boris Johnson, he's literally blue blood. He's doing that work as prime minister, but he doesn't have to do that to be wealthy. Sunak wealthier than the king.
Yeah,
Sunak's wife owns Infosys.
yeah. Yeah, but he wasn't the top choice, huh? And we have to look at
He
the
was
Westminster
the top choice,
after.
but his color prevented him from being the top choice, and they had to circle right back to him.
No, but I mean, that Westminster system, I think we need to look at why are we still with it? It's not a good fit for us in the 21st
Could never work for a
century.
country where your name has no value to you. It could never work in a country, in Trinidad, but people don't care what you say.
No, but it's too,
you have a
the
prime
power is
minister.
too
You have a prime
concentrated.
minister who spoke about the opposition leader. The opposition leader spoke about him. He has COVID, and he is seeking his cure on the golf course. So she speak about him. He speak about her, and he say that his walking up and down the golf course is a healthier pursuit than lifting up glasses of white rum and vodka. CNC3 carry that as the news whole, and then used it as the lead in, you know, the clickbait, to show you that's what matters in Trinidad. That insulting bacchanal confusion is what matters. Nobody's elevating nobody. Nobody's elevating anything. When you look at the parliament, be honest, pick a person. From the speaker, the president of the Senate, just pick a person that you could say that you would tell your child, be like that one. Just one. Just one. One mayor. One head of a corporation, regional corporation. One. That you could say, I believe that is a person of integrity and character. Just try and find one. That's the problem. If your parliament is a circus and a hotbed of racket and old talk and confusion, what do you think the public going to deliver?
Yeah, but Philip, we have 2 more years of these people again, you know. What are we going to do? We can't be quarreling and complaining the next 2 years. We have to do something.
But you say that, and I tell in Trinidad and Tobago, 100,000 people come out on Saturday. That conversation different.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That conversation different, because when people realize that they hold all the power, when we say, okay, you know what?
Make a statement without saying a word.
We will all stay home and reflect on the condition of the country. It cannot improve under these circumstances. Coleman with his lying to you to distract you and tell you we're doing better. All of a sudden, doom and gloom and doom and gloom and doom and
Yeah,
gloom.
$11 billion pop up from.
Boom! I see the man is a magician. They send him, get me a distraction. Look, 11 billion. That is true.
What money fuel subsidy,
that
you
came
know.
from Norway.
Yeah.
Where it come from?
I want to tell you, that $11 billion exists only in that soundbite. Like when Colin said that the PNM is the only political party that will give a trade union a refinery to run. Remember that?
Yeah.
Remember that?
Mm-hmm.
that existed only in that on Rosie and them.
Clap.
We wait here, what it? Them fellas know how to use words to be.
So that's the same thing with the nurses. With the nurses.
With the
money,
nurses?
Yeah, the nurses. How much money that was?
But the nurses writing me, they say they set aside the money. The government say, we have set that money aside.
But maybe like a sideway, like,
No.
like what side? Left side or right? What side is
When
it?
they set it aside, they turned it back and somebody went with it. Because the nurses, they
So
knew
the
that-
money that was aside, it gone?
What's now? People laugh and joke and say they give the nurses little tins, plural,
The
of biscuits.
biscuit thing,
It
yeah.
was 1 tin
But
each.
it was one tin. They share that. Take
Stop
your
it.
piece of
Stop
cookie
it.
and go.
So everybody
it,
get,
Philip.
everybody
There was a
didn't get their
tin
own
each.
tin?
Everybody
No,
get their own
Philip.
cookie.
Stop it.
Philip, before, hold on. The money with the nurses, I want to rewind that. Where that money that you say put
You can
aside?
take calls, yes. You're taking calls here on my phone.
Yes, sir.
Okay, start it. Start the mass. Sorry, go back on here. I apologize.
Yeah, I just want to know the money that you said they put aside for the nurses.
Brother, the nurses writing me and asking me this thing, and I don't know what to tell them. I don't know what to say.
Send
So
them
I
by
tell
the
all the
outing.
nurses, bring all the nurses on Saturday. People is telling you, are feeling sorry for the people that I have to attend to in the hospital if I'm not there who will attend to them. So I want to ask you, if they stop paying you altogether, you still going to work? What's the line? What do they have to do you for you to find your sense of self-preservation?
No, but Philip, you have to understand, if they right now, they have made the situation so desperate and dire for most people, they're holding on to that work, you know, they can't leave just so.
Yeah, but nah. Mahatma Gandhi teach them how to make their own salt. Go down on the beach and make your own salt. Weave your own cotton.
Oh gosh, Philip.
I just saying. I'm not saying that we're going
Roast
back.
your breadfruit on the coal pot, eh?
Roast, no, but it wasn't for him to say. But it's for us to say. I will share my breadfruit with you. The price of coal is high.
And the price of the breadfruit high too, that's
Exactly.
it.
That's the truth.
So we back to the bourbon and the tea time and the...
You insist on this bourbon and tea
The
time.
Zumas,
Yes, because
Zumas, yeah, don't forget
and
Zumas.
and all this
Zumas
crap.
protest. The Zumas
No,
protest.
because, you know, like in the UK and Europe, they talk about taxing these kinds of snacks because, you know, to help in terms of...
Ma'am, there was a documentary on Chubby.
Banning those things.
There was a documentary on Chubby, and I could find it and send it for you, where they were like a media, and they said, "How is this allowed in the country?" Chubby
Yeah.
is
And these,
poison.
and these are the captains of industry, the people who we laud as you know,
Success.
the entrepreneurs.
Success.
Let's build business schools and name them after them because they have come up with this.
Look, just make biscuit and
yeah,
corn cookies.
and you can
Serious?
and
That's
you,
the Lockjack school is built on chocolate and
which also is a little problem, right? They don't pay for recycling of those.
not one of those people, and to make your point, not one of them comes back to society and say, "This is how I will contribute to improvement." It is like everybody just want to get richer till they're dead.
Yeah.
That's the game. Whatever it takes, more money.
No, but you see, the thing is, you talked about Sunak and you know the British press and the British politicians being influenced by public opinion, and the reason that they're getting away with so much in Trinidad is because public opinion is you want to be like them, you want to be rich, and that's the abiding, you know, whatever you need to get a
See,
piece of the pie.
I wouldn't tell you now.
Gandhi is not trending.
I wouldn't. I would disagree with you. We've never tried. We've never tried.
Gandhi's not even trending
But
among
I
the
watch.
Hindus.
Nah, you see, I watch them. I watch the simple little candlelight movement become a threat to the point where they declare a state of emergency. Till when Gary shared his screenshots between him and Hines, how he was talking about, we're shutting down them vigils. The vigils was preoccupying them, and I didn't miss that. The rest of the country miss it. I've taken care of it, sir. I've shut them down.
Right.
But it generated 128,500 physical signatures during a pandemic, during a lockdown. Trinidadians are ready, you know. Trinidadians will stand together, you know. Trinidadians will rubbish racist politics. But when UNC Indians telling PLM Africans, all you vote for that, I don't want to jump in and mediate that. But what the PLM Africans were supposed to vote for? UNC Indians? Them come in and fix my community? Them come in Cocorite? The people in Cocorite and Hague Street and Upper Rich Plain, their lives is misery.
Yeah.
It's not easy to live that life. People want to escape. And you're going to tell me I'm going to vote for somebody when they make the statement that if I had to take licks, I might as well take the licks from somebody who look like me. What they're trying to say in their lack of sophistication is that it could get worse. And that's what they're thinking. And I am saying to you, Trinidadians need a center point where the Indians and the Africans and those who don't even care to vote, and the red men and the Douglas and the mixed breeds and the Syrians and the white and the Chinese, everybody could come together in a common space. That's what we're trying to build. On the 19th, it's not a political meeting. It's a conversation. That's what we call it. When I talk to you, I tell you, if you come in to talk, you have to endorse me. You have to join the Progressive Empowerment Party. Some of the speakers who come in there, they're not endorsing me or the party. What we come in to talk about is, let us have a frank conversation about the reality of our existence in Trinidad and Tobago in 2022. Let us look at it. Let us look at our justice system, our public health. Let us look at it. Let us look at our education system. I ask on Dansby Dolly Traders go on her threads in the mornings when she posts her memes. Let's ask a question. How could you have failed schools and prestige schools if all the schools come from the same Ministry of Education, using the same curriculum, the same funding, and the same teacher training college? How that happened? And then they leave them to say a little tongue-in-cheek, you know, black people kind of stupid. So I tell them, no. When white skin was still running around in caves in England and Europe, black people invented science. So you can't tell me that that's what you really believe. What you plant is what you're going to reap. And they are planting failed education in certain communities. So that you will come out of there with workamies.
Yeah.
You're not coming out of there with lawyer and doctor and engineer, because everybody's lawyer, doctor and engineer who working in the factory.
Exactly.
Who putting the chocolate biscuit in the pack?
Tea time.
The tea time. And the Zoomers.
Yeah, who packing that?
Who putting the fries in the mouth?
Yeah, right there. Who packing the fries, yeah.
Who dressing up, kissing their wife and children goodbye as a security guard to go and stand up in a next man's property and put his life in danger for minimum wage.
With a baton.
With a baton.
Oh,
Yeah, they want the gun. Security guards tell them they ain't want no gun. Because they come in to kill you for the gun.
Yeah, that's why I had a problem with my back facing the road, because the last man who back faced the road, he lost the gun, you know. Yeah. In a rum shop.
I see that video.
What?
They walk in there, they hold the man's hand and take his gun and gone. Ex-police.
But based on experience, what you doing face? What you back doing facing the door? Big
With
man?
a firearm on you, in a bar drinking.
In a rum shop.
He look for
So when David Welch tell me sit down here, and I look, I realize my back.
No, but Ronnie's safe.
I say, well, you know.
Ronnie's a fellow loved by the people. They know who they interfere with. But it is depressing to be having the same conversation over and over, and it's only going to change when the people decide they're going to change. You are correct. If at some point we cannot shake off the malaise and the depression and whatever it is that keeps us from standing together, me, my black brother, my Indian brother, my Chinese and Douglas and white and Syrian and all of us together, they will separate us. They will give us little narratives, with airworms, for you to say about each other. You like to drink, you like to thief, you don't work, you be in drugs. So everybody, as you stand up, as you pop your boom, hit them down with a narrative. We need to get past all of that and stand again and say, you know what? We're leaving all that on the table. We want the price of food to come down. We want you to explain the dollar. Explain the 677 to me. Explain it. If we export for 60 years, how come 677? Barbados no export 2 to 1.
Still, yeah, me again on, still. 2
Explain.
to 1.
You understand? But as long as they have you distracting, fighting over foolishness and racism, game about rum talk and vodka talk and who can learn and who can thief and who like
But is it time now for the, you know, there's some little hook lines like banana and them kind of thing on blank and
Blank man.
that's so. How soon you think, based on your experience, how soon, when do we start to look forward for them little lines coming?
You know what you gotta look for?
A year before,
Ronnie,
a year and a half before.
You know what you gotta look forward to?
Could come in, eh?
In Trinidad, there is no derogatory word that you could call a Syrian that will bother them.
Right.
Not one.
Yeah.
Because they have money. And money and power trumps small talk.
Call me where you want.
You could call me where you want.
Yeah.
Call me where you want.
Yeah.
When India mounted that massive transition from the slum ghetto of the world in the 80s to the top IT performing country on the planet, the largest middle class in the world is India. India have more middle class people than they have people in America and Canada combined. Just middle class people. And they pull them from the slums, answering the phone. And you laughing at them. I remember Eddie Murphy and them on the talk shows, mocking the Indian accent and thing, no problem. But they elevated and educated till the top 9 companies in the world all have Indian CEOs. That started answering, this is Lotus 1, 2, 3. That started with that. Started there, it was a vision. It's to take it from here because they saw the power of information technology. I tell people, see the power of marine industry in Trinidad. Say 20 years from now, we want to dominate in the Western world. We must be the shipping hub of the world. All ships that move in anything out of the Panama Canal, 98% of the stuff moving in this part of the world, coming through the Panama Canal, stop in Trinidad. Billions of dollars. See marine. Put marine universities. Teach these children how to fix engines. Teach them how to rig sails and to build boats and ships. Give them hope and opportunity so they can start their own business. Marine. Think that. Somebody posts a picture. They say, I look out my window and say, no, sure. There are 4 cruise ships. 8,000 people. 8,000 people touched down here today.
St. Martin does get about 8 a day.
Brother.
Little pieces. Yeah.
So that's 8 million US in your economy now. And then going to have a chin or a cinnamon pocket. And went to all the little drivers, all the little hustlers, all the little workers, people selling big doubles and people. If you had a vision for Trinidad and Tobago outside of oil and gas, and so wherever oil and gas we have, write a law. If you buy oil or gas from us, all the money going in that stabilization fund. All. We will find the rest of the money around this country. We could fix Trinidad and Tobago, sir. People have to want it. The people have to want it. And I said this morning on my video, I said, whining your neck in the road for PNM and you going home and suffer. You see how I afraid to try to break my
Let me pardon.
whining your neck in the road for PNM. I injure myself if I try.
I hope you know you don't want to go Mount Over if you get dislocated on it.
And you gotta go for cupping. Cupping. No, but if you whine in your neck and you're going home because your job and your money safe and your family good.
Well, it probably is, Philip. That you have to remember. Let's talk about the fact that there are, a lot of public servants need their jobs. That's their source of income. So you vote for the party, the PNM. The PNM has entrenched itself in the public service.
How did this come out sometimes? Based on who in power? This come out.
Oh, I don't know. Because you mean like when people vote because they get so frustrated?
I just say no because the numbers has been lower based on who in power.
No, but that's not also, nobody have a good life in Trinidad. When you reach in home and it's late and it's a little quiet in your streets and you're pulling up by a gate, if you don't have an electric gate, you're clapping,
Yeah. My neighbor, she is terrified and she has an electric gate.
Because you're seeing the videos on social media.
Yeah.
They will just appear.
Yeah, carjacking.
You jump out your car, nothing in the road, stuff on race, stuff on sitting down in the car on the phone, on the camera, take the car and go on.
Yeah.
But when you're watching the videos, they follow you to the point where they're seeing you. When you get out of the car and start to open the gate, they drive straight down the street behind you. Now you are their mercy. You driving on the street, you're a big public servant, whatever, clapping. You have an electric gate, you drive in the yard.
They can still get
Until the gate closed behind you.
Yeah, you ain't safe yet.
Okay, so your level of clapping drop a little bit. But until you see your dogs wagging the tail, all right, my dog's in bed.
Yeah, boy.
You understand what I'm saying? All of this. We go through that mental checklist. You reach the door, you put your key in the door. Until you get on the inside and close that door behind you, you panic.
They have home invasion.
And you turn around and somebody inside the house.
Exactly.
Yeah, they reach before you.
They
Yeah.
reach before you, they make sound noise.
Philip, this is now normalized,
But
you know?
that's what I'm saying to you.
So people are not seeing that this is because they're saying, oh, it's happening all over the world.
They're talking that in crowd. When they buy the sell, they panic.
Of course.
Nobody is happy. When they drive out of Goodwood Park, when you drive in the Goodwood Park, you're driving past Checkpoint Charlie and you feel, wow, you're going to the American Embassy.
Yeah.
You must see the security set up outside
Yeah.
Goodwood Park. It's fancy. When they come out of that, watch their knuckles on the steering. White. Because you're not safe.
Yeah.
Right there, outside, with that security guard in the boot, they could slam into you, bundle you, and go
Because
with
the
you.
security guard
He ain't
probably,
coming outside.
he probably have a baton.
Yeah, because
But even if he have a gun, this is a country where police take off all their clothes and went home in their jockey shorts when things get too serious. Serious. When things get too serious. No, I'm not a police. I just undercover.
Yeah. Man start disclaimer. Man put up disclaimer. Yeah.
But you see, the point is, and this is what I don't understand. The point, when you made that point just now, I think the stupidity of people to believe that you're safe and you're not. That is what Ubuntu say. I can't be safe if you're not safe. And as I ask them all the time, you feel you can report that party card. When they come at you with the gun, and no, PNM.
Nah.
That's not making a difference. They're taking the card too.
But it's like the
No,
reference
you
you
might
always
get
make
extra
with
bullets.
half the ship sinking, and you expect the other half to sail.
Go its merry way.
Yeah.
Think half the Titanic show up in the port? No. Once it break, it broken. Child is broken. People of African descent cannot believe that they are happy under a PNM government if people of Indian descent are not supposed to be. You understand that? And that's the narrative in the politics. That is, we time now. It's not their time.
Nothing.
Your time. How could half the country have a time? This is the argument we're trying to make.
You real slow. Slow, you know, Philip, slow. I don't know where this bring them around me for. Slow. They're
I
slow.
swear this is the longest. It's an
They're
hour
slow.
and a half and I still on.
Slow, don't make no sense.
She pacing herself.
Eh?
She pacing
But
herself.
look the next one
She
here.
wants a last. She wants a
She
last.
get one of each. You get one
Nah,
each.
they have a meeting after
All right.
for Saturday, so they know. They
Yeah.
can't be,
But
Too
they-
drunk.
they can't be tipsy in the meeting.
No, well,
They
good.
notes.
That's all right. Who ain't drink what I go drink everything, yeah. So what going on Saturday, brother? November 19th.
Prophet Benjamin, hey, you're singing?
Well, Felicia called me. I do in Tobago. I have appreciation.
Oh,
you know, we didn't do the postmortem. The Tobago Carnival
Tell me
postmortem. Basically, no, everything went well. You got swimming partner.
Yeah.
Say failure.
I see that.
Yeah, but that is all talk. Yeah, that is politics. You know, that is politics.
So he's sour grapes on everything
Nah,
now.
but 95% of the people in Tobago could attest to the fact that Tobago's first carnival was a success.
What the road was like.
The road was one. The Juve was nice, of course. And it's a different vibe. You know.
Chinese do Juve natural.
But yeah, but you're coming down Juve. You imagine you coming down Juve with no rope. I was affiliated with Jane Monkey Juve. No rope. No rope. It's a different energy in Tobago. So yeah, Juve was nice. Of course, Ronnie and Carol did the costumes for Jane Monkey on the Sunday. They started late, just like any other
So
parade.
you have an industry now. You in multiples of carnivals. You mass producing.
I just rocking my neck, brother.
Make your money,
I
brother.
just
Make
swinging my
your
neck in the
money.
carnival.
Hey.
No, but bottom line is, so they
How
started
much
late.
carnivals you in?
A lot. You know, I mean, sometimes
You don't want them count your money, all right? Continue.
No, yeah, but and
Yeah, when them count your money,
when Ronnie and
continue.
Carol pass on the avenue, they still counted, but they don't understand. They don't understand behind the scenes what is the cost of one truck trailer generator sound system. They don't understand that, but that's okay.
Man, mine is a funny thing in this
I don't
country.
study them. That have haters on social media thing. I don't study them. You know what I mean? Anyway, so Sunday was great. The parade started late. There was one hiccup where the parade was supposed to go through Lambo, and then, of course, all the vendors set up nice in the village.
Oh gosh.
Yeah, but it happened here too. You see, when Trinidadians play, they're calling in radio station and ponging THA for not having the parade pass through Lambo. And oh, that big error. And yeah, okay, it happens. And I think, of course, THA doesn't say we'll give all back a little grant for the inconvenience.
Absolutely.
But it happened here too on Independence Square. When you're coming down South Key, they had arrangements to make the trucks and them make a left head into
But when you
KFC.
publish a route, you're supposed to follow
Right,
the route.
okay, fine. So they rent out spots now in that space
On
between
the route.
right and head into KFC on Independence Square. So I think it was 1800. And Juve morning, the police came and put a barrier across that whole street
Left hand
and
and
say
right hand.
and say let the bands go up Charlotte Street. So those vendors who was there in that little gap, in that little space, paid $1,800 a spot.
Wow.
With the, and had to watch the bands going so. So don't play with the pong in Tobago for the
No,
error.
But hey, even
We's
so,
Mr. Carnival, right?
Even
We's the
though-
mother of all carnivals.
no,
And we
but
just
even
still
so,
make
this was-
mistakes.
But this was the first one.
That's what I'm saying. So there's not, but there's calling hot thing and Tobago in with the Dwayne. And no, we just make the same stupid mistakes here after how much 1,000 years. So don't play knocking Tobago. It was wonderful. It was lovely. So they will play pong in Tobago, but their mistakes, they will fix that.
This idea that you had to get something 100% right. or
No,
you're
but we don't
100%
get right
wrong.
still.
I'm still stuck on the rope. You know, the fact that he wasn't roped off was such a liberating feeling.
But a different boy.
Can you imagine that we produce Carnival and we have gotten used. Look, you see how easy it is to normalize
No rope, Juve morning,
control in Trinidad. You see how easy. But a
no
rope.
set a million security with no battle. You know, two, three guys with presence
Yeah.
in the event of. And them two little young, two little youths, they know they go run to the van. No, they run to the van and they interfere nobody. They just run to the van and go on their way. It's alright.
But you know, there was a time before there were ropes in Trinidad and people could just be free and
But
everybody
I know that, but
enjoy
it was a
Carnival.
nice experience to do Tobago. And you're coming down Juve morning, but no rope.
No rope. So that's
No
it. That's
rope.
the tagline for Tobago.
Tobago
Carnival.
Carnival, no
The
rope.
ropeless
rope.
carnival. No rope.
Different energy, boy.
That
Different-
rope is
different
a
energy.
serious thing. You
Different
understand?
energy.
Psychologically.
No,
Imagine.
right.
Ronnie and
So
Caro
much
tribe and all
fun.
them. Is million rope. I mean, like front of the band to the back of the rope.
Yeah. And we like
I wanna answer that. Boy,
What, the rope?
No, it's just
Wait,
that-
they want to answer.
No, I read this commentary, boy.
By who?
I can't remember. But it's talking about the carnival and it's talking about certain people are getting excluded from the carnival.
With Tobago?
No, in Trinidad.
Oh, they're getting excluded?
Because of the rope that you're talking about, the rope is what you're saying is to segregate and
Yes.
But no. The rope is not no segregation. It's the same way how the parties move from.
But it's security, yes?
It is security.
It is security,
It's not
yes.
segregated.
Somebody said to me on the chat today, and I was talking about in the same Diane Gadsby Dolly chat. She said, your education plan would have sent my children to school in a war zone. I say, my education plan, or our education plan, is zoning the schools in the community where you live. So if your child ends up going to school in a war zone, I mean you live in a war zone. The
Correct.
conversation you have to be having is how my community is a war zone in the first place.
Exactly.
Because the child supposed to go to school in the community.
Listen, man.
Listen, but after decades of getting up at 4 o'clock in the morning to go to a school in town, a convent or a college, why should people have it easy to just walk to school like the rest of the world?
No, I was outside Southeast Port of Spain when the PTA was.
That's my
protesting.
school actually. I went to Southeast
They
Port of Spain.
called me.
I saw
and
that
the
video.
woman telling me, she said that children has come to this school from Sangre Grande.
Imagine that.
That's
How
so
are you
sweet. Yeah.
taking a child from Sangre Grande to Southeast Port of Spain? How does it make sense to anybody? How?
It makes sense to the Ministry of Education. Because the child probably did not get the kind of grades. So then you want to ask yourself, why you have schools that only children
But
with
that's
certain...
the point. The education system is supposed to be a straight line. If you have a grade point average, 4.0 is the national target. All schools, for all children. That grade point average for the child, if it is 25 children in a class, the collective aggregate of those grade point averages is that teacher's average. That's the teacher's grade point average. and all of the classrooms together is the school's grade point average. So at the annual test, you just test everybody against themselves. You're not in competition. You're in competition with you to improve you. And you have that line. And all the schools do 4.0, 4.0, and they're dropping down till they reach 2.8. That is the school that needs your attention. The 4.0 is doing well, keep it up.
Yeah.
You're going to 2.8. And then you tell the principal, the vice principal, oh, everybody doing 4.0, you're bringing on the average, what's 2.8? So the principal say, well, we have these 2 bad classes. All the other classes do 4.0, but these 2 do below 2. And you're going to those classes to find those teachers. And those teachers tell you, well, most of the students doing well, but we have a handful of bad students. Do you know what you've just identified? The lowest performers in the whole education system, so you could find out why.
Yeah.
Children are not broken, children are not bad, children are suffering from the environment.
Correct.
Children suffer the negatives and the fallout. You talk about it. Waking up to gunfire, daddy just make a jail, mommy and daddy break up, something. I check in your grade point average for the last 3 years. You was normal, and now you dip. You need counseling, you need help, you need support. That's how you run a thing.
Yeah.
We just running a school where SEA, I'll pick this child, oh, this one I know, this one father. So the results don't matter. If the results don't matter to the prestige schools, why do we have a SEA?
Because we cannot be bothered to upgrade the rest of the schools.
But
that should be the
To
government.
educate,
let me ask you a question.
to educate
Okay.
every child to the best of their ability.
They avoid this question, eh? Fatima College, Mokorapo,
Across the street.
Exactly.
separated by 16 feet of pitch. If I pick up all the children from Fatima and put them in Mokorapo, and all the children from Mokorapo and put them in Fatima, will the new Fatima children succeed and the old Fatima children fail? Or will the new Mokorapo children succeed and the old Mokorapo children fail? Which one will happen? That's an easy example for you to understand that it can't be the children. Something wrong in the system. Something is wrong in the system, and that can't be an accident. If Fatima is a prestige school across the road from the #1 most failed school in Trinidad, Mokorapo, why?
Yeah.
And when the parents try to insinuate skin color, how do I know your child passed for Fatima? How?
No, but
It's socio-economic reality.
No.
Where these
This is
children are
not,
coming from.
you can't excuse it like that. I'm saying to you, if you're saying that that is the only decision, how did you end up, you're taking all of the performers
Yeah.
and you're putting them in one school. In Finland, they teach you,
Yes.
don't
well,
separate.
Yes.
In Finland, they tell you, leave all together, and that's the highest standard of education in the world.
No, but you see, we're still stuck on the tests, on the exams, on the paperwork. We're not concerned about the individual
Development of the child.
Exactly. We don't care if you're the kind of person to pick up litter, to help somebody. No, as long as you have them 5 O levels or the degree or whatever, that is what is most
no, but
important.
naturally, different schools, even though they're all going to sit the same SEA exam, because I have my daughter and my nephew the same age, they did different things.
Exactly.
The school, the homework that she was doing and the homework that he was
Why is the curriculum different?
doing. One was a prep school and one was
But
a public
why is,
school.
I understand that there are different schools.
Because
But I'm saying to you,
they
it is the
design
same.
it like that.
They design it like that. So why would they design it like that?
Because
What?
you want to separate the sheep from the goat and
No,
stratify
that is
the
not
system.
separating. Stratify.
Yes.
But that's not separating if you are deliberately manufacturing.
Yeah.
If you give me a similar exam for everybody, the top performers will come out on one side and the slower performers will come out on the other side. But if you're giving me different curriculums and different exams, that's a different thing.
Exactly.
You are trying to manipulate society, and that is
You
madness.
literally
No,
setting
listen,
them
the
up.
thing is, it comes down to the fact that you're only going to keep these high-performing schools like that. You don't really want to upgrade the secondary schools, because then you have too many people coming out with 5 O levels, 8 O levels, 10 O levels, and where they going to work?
But
They're not going to want to work in.
No, wait. You have to remember this. When you are changing a society and raising it up, You need to create employment at the same time to the standard of the people that are coming out of those schools. It can't be that you continue this security guard KFC box.
Right,
culture.
Philip, we come right full circle
So you,
to
but,
the
you,
beginning.
but as a government, when you have your ministers and your cabinet, and you're trying to move education from point A to point B, you saying point B is a different net result, the level of student that's coming out of the workplace. I'm saying society has to develop alongside that. You need to begin with the end in mind. Your tertiary education have to be predicated.
Yes.
Your tertiary education have to be predicated on, I just said, marine industry, tourism,
Yeah, but-
agro-processing. So you know where you're trying to slipstream Toronto.
Yes, yes, but again, we come back to the fact that this system, the education system, has become so codified, so complicated with our children. A lot of them in public schools cannot read properly,
No, functional
right?
illiterate.
Right. So we have to meet them where they are. We have to employ them or make them employable where they are. So we come full circle back to how we started this conversation, where I said, let us legalize the marijuana. So a very lucrative industry worth billions. Anybody can grow it once you train them. Once you train them.
I will never knock you on that because I know the global demand. But I want to tell you, something like pepper spray, our Moruga scorpion pepper
Yes.
has the correct amount of Schofield units for pepper spray. You know that? So that starting growing Moruga scorpion pepper
With the aim of
to break
making
it
the
down to
pepper
pepper
spray.
mash is $2,500 for a barrel of pepper mash, as opposed to $100 a barrel of oil. Do the math. And this is renewable. $2,500 a barrel of pepper mash, and you get first twice supplying peppers. And your next step, next year, 2 years, 3 years, your medium-term plan, I supplying pepper mash. Your long-term plan is that you supplying pepper spray to the world. That's how India did it, and that's just one industry. So
Well,
when
we just want to supply peppers for the local market right now to just cook.
Understood.
Let us just focus
Understood.
on one.
No, but I'm saying to you, a government has to lead people. When you take in your children to school, it's not like long ago. What is reading, writing, arithmetic? You need to know that you are preparing your children for a career for their lives. What careers are available in Trinidad? What careers will be available 10 years, 15 years when your child
But
is
we will always need food, Philip.
Yes, we will. I'm not saying no. I'm not knocking that. I am
What I'm saying is, we cannot have dreams of marine.
No, you have to do all.
marine.
You have to do all. Agro-processing, food production, farming, all of that has to happen with a goal to food self-sufficiency and net food exporter. We have to have that. But there's not only one lane. There's multiples of lanes. You could get in aerospace, you could get in renewable energies, you could deal with Honeywell out of Holland, and you could tell them, come, you wanted to do a deal in Trinidad where the entire East Coast was going to be wind farms, so Trinidad will get its electricity free, and we could pipe electricity to the rest of the islands and make our money from that, and then we'll get to the point where we're manufacturing windmills and other devices here. Do that too. Do that too. We own the pitch league. We're not dominating the world in road surfacing technology, not just pitch. The Germans invented silent roads. We could not do that. We should be in that. The Dutch doing these fluorescent lines in the road so that you don't even need lights on in the night. We should be dominating road surface technology. Pitch does other things. Waterproofing. It does sealing. It's for construction. We could.
Yeah, but we're a raw material producer and consumer. That is how we have approached everything.
And I'm saying to you that is the problem. Right. That Trinidad is led by governments that have no vision. They come to office on bacchanal. If we tell you that we come to office saying all of the schools will become prestige schools, how are you going to do that? Tell them exactly what that means. So that in 10 years, all of the schools are 10-year schools in the community. You save all that traffic. When school closed, they have no traffic.
Yeah.
So you know that that's a big solution there. But you zone all the schools and you make sure that all of the teachers are all the same high quality trained level and you're using the same curriculum. And they get in the same purpose-built facility. So if it's in Moruga, and if it's in Sangre Grande, and if it's in Diego Martin West, it's the same proper school. And at the end of every year, you're checking that grade point average so you can monitor and right-size your child. But you as a parent, your child from 5 to 15 in that same school, you as a parent growing with that teacher, the children growing with that teacher, children growing up with lifelong friends. That's how you knit a community together. Those things, there are so many benefits, culture, sport, so many things can come
Well,
out
the
of
Cubans have done it. The Cubans have urban farms that provide for the community. So within Intrincity, within Diego Martin, they provide in lettuce, seasoning. You understand? In Havana. Why we can't do this?
Why we can't do that? Why you can't organize your street and say your backyard garden, you grow the baygon, you grow the tomato, you grow the okra, one crop. You pick your crop, you grow the pimentos, and we will meet on a Saturday and exchange. No money, all of we going back home with a basket. My basket came full with tomatoes, I going back full with breadfruit and avocado and whatever I get.
Yeah.
Our whole street just went grocery shopping with no money.
But also too, you have to talk
And
about...
you ain't going to the market, you ain't no gas.
No gas.
No, but you have to talk
Exactly.
to, if you really want to transform Trinidad, you have to talk about land distribution, because that is where the inequality comes in, because Indians historically got land. Plus the
Distribution or land stealing?
There's both.
Oh.
But the fact is, most Africans don't have land. To talk about growing your fruit and growing your own, and changing the economy and getting into agriculture, who has the land? Let us look at the cadastral and see who owns all the land
But
now.
Nazma, before you say that, when I tell you the PAP's food production policy is a simple one. There are 90,000 acres, there are 30,000 farmers. And anybody else who would like to be a farmer. And you come and you sit with us, and we make an acre available to you. You're not getting it, you're not owning it, you're not taking it, you're not leasing it. We're making an acre available to you like a tool. We're saying in this part of Trinidad, we're growing palm city and pawpaw for export. Here we're growing these foods for consumption, local consumption. So when you come to us and you say, well, I'm Moruga, I want a farm, I want an acre in Moruga, we say, I have this available, but for you to take this, we're telling you everything. You're growing palm city, the seeds, the chemicals, whatever you need, you grow it. 60% is yours, 40% is ours. When the crop ready, we're taking all. Your only job is to take that acre of land and grow palm city. If we estimate that this acre of land is supposed to get us 500 tons of palm city, and you do 7, so if the 500 ton is the 70% mark, you do 100%, 90%, 80%, you're overperformer. Well, let me talk about giving you an next acre. Let me expand you. Yeah. As opposed to you come back and say, well, boy, I had problem, moths, locusts, dog, the wife leave me. Take it back that acre of land. You on kicks, and I in food production. I want to feed a nation and export and make US and save money and all this kind of background. Create jobs, create entrepreneurs, all of that background. It can be done. It could easily be done. So it don't come down to that. I am not going to base who gets the farm on race. I'm going to base who gets the farm on performance. Every single person who's interested in being a farmer should have access to an acre of land to prove their ability. And every year your performance could get you a greater parcel of land to work. Not your political connection. One man get 100 acres from the PNM and get 100 acres from the UNC. One financier. So when you talk about black and Indian, that's joke. There are people who are not black or Indian that own hundreds of acres putting down apartment projects.
And malls.
Yeah. On malls, on fertile farmland. So let me don't get distracted by that. Let me say, what is the objective? Feed the nation, become a net food exporter, put those to timelines, break up the country. You understand what I'm saying? Work out what you want. There are people who don't eat meat, there are people who live on meat. Turkey is a massive growth potential. People in Trinidad, more protein per pound than chicken. We could shift our turkey just as easily as we shifted the chicken. Because none of these foods that is our natural diet was our indigenous foods. We exchange and we made, and I will try your bhaji and you will try my okra, and we learn. Yeah. And we can learn again. Exactly. We can learn again, and all of that little conversation you just had, save money, save foreign exchange, created employment, created entrepreneurs, and started new industries. Trinidad does not have to be this way, and all of it could fix. We've just never had a government that wanted to. So you, me, Ronnie, Nigeria and everybody else gets caught up in the bullshit of the politics. The bacchanal, the rum, the tiffin, the who can learn, who like it so, who vote for that, all that stupidness that I don't tolerate on my social media anymore. So don't write it on any of my posts, I'll block you. I don't want that. I want you to come and tell me where I'm wrong or where I'm right, how we going forward. Because if somewhere they don't have a conversation about how we going forward, this is where we're gonna stay stuck.
Exactly.
I'm 55. I'm not doing this for much longer. Get them a lighter note now. We're running out of time. So you're not coming to sing, boy?
Yeah, not. Well, unfortunately, as
Jump
I said,
on your plane now. Jump on a plane now.
private jet. Yeah, but I'm missing a couple more dollars to purchase the plane. I short about $40.
All your money counting haters. Oh,
I
God,
thought she was
bitch.
gonna have like a little talk about
Nice
gas
study
too
that.
expensive. No,
Nah, basically,
Plane gas
To
money.
start up the jet.
Plane gas
basically
money.
this weekend is
Yeah,
all
you know,
about Jade
hey.
Monkey Tobago. We're having an appreciation celebration for, like, well, of course, the masqueraders and staff and, well, 1-2 sponsors and stuff like that. Yeah, do that. In the meantime, we're just preparing for this, what they call it, mother of all carnivals. I really want to find out. They're using the tagline, which is, you know, is marketing, the mother of all carnivals. But I'm yet to hear what is being introduced new on the calendar, on the carnival calendar. What is new?
The only I can see is less cloth. I don't know where though.
I don't talk
might
about
bring
I don't talk about the
Burna Boy.
costumes.
But I'm not
No, for what?
Would you?
In the middle of carnival, they do that.
Yes, yes,
Well,
they
that
do
was
that.
foolish after they go to do that in the
Listen,
first place.
listen,
You don't have a
foreigners-
festival inside a festival. This is Carnival Week.
But you said that. You said
Right
that.
here, yeah.
Here.
So you have a festival.
You told them how to tie the food festival to
Which
the
is Blue Food Festival.
And to lead in.
Right.
You show them
So
that.
tie in Blue Food Festival with Carnival. No. You bring in Burna Boy and give it some festival name inside Carnival Week. Mad people.
You know how I know I am 55? Because I don't know who Burna Boy is.
That's all right. No, but no.
That's how I know.
I'm
That's
familiar.
the first time I felt.
That's
That's the first time I felt 55.
So if they want, they could bring Burna Boy in Trinidad Carnival too. That's
I
Actually,
don't know
I
who
predict,
it is.
I predict Spice is gonna come. They're gonna bring Spice, a Jamaican, Shensia or Spice. Some,
in our carnival.
Yeah.
So in other words, you're right.
But that
we
makes
need
it,
we need
so
outside
that makes it
influence.
the mother.
We do.
That makes it.
That's what I'm saying. We need outside
yes,
influence.
because the thing is,
Because what?
we are not confident. We are not self-confident that we can.
I think they're gonna give everybody a crowbar and let them jump through your house. That's all that left. Jump over your wall, jump through your living room, wine in your face,
okay.
eat one in your fridge. That's the mother of all carnival. Where's it gonna go?
Brother man, Ronnie and Carlos preparing because the foreigners putting the thing in place, the registration's coming in, they book in the hotel,
must
right?
be done sell out
You
there.
can't, not totally sold out, but you can't get a hotel, you can't get a
Hey,
rental car.
link up with Ronnie. Nice. Yes.
Yeah.
Cool. But hear me.
nice.
Let me see the time.
Yeah, wrap it up.
Closing-
58. 58.
Closing comments, ma'am, and your t-shirts and
Yes.
your Christmas greetings, and
Yes.
tell them you'll be available, and I'll tell them in the end. But
Yes,
yeah.
I will be selling my T-shirts at Philip's Gathering.
PEPs, not Philip Gathering.
PEPs.
Well,
Yes.
man, let her tweet it.
PEPs Gathering.
PEPs Gathering.
And yes, I will be bringing out some more. Yes, thank you. Look. So
Is that for the guests?
yes, of
Don't
course.
make joke,
Medium,
man.
medium, 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 medium,
I get to have yourself a
Medium.
Christmas.
medium.
I wearing this. Watch me. I wearing this Saturday. On the stage.
Oh gosh.
Nah, you gotta wear
Philip,
your
you gotta
brand,
wear a
you
large,
gotta
you
wear
know.
your brand.
You gotta get a large. Look at large. You want a large?
David, make sure I get the presentation and record it. Just make sure and take back the things.
So
They
we
just
go
hand-
on the screen.
they just hand it on camera.
Then we see me on
And when they're
screen.
ready to go, they say, give me that. So I want proof. Medium.
Alright, I do have a medium. Try the large now.
David, you get this?
You want a small?
You got it?
Yourself
Right.
a merry little
Because
Christmas.
they just give in, and when they're leaving, they say,
Take it back.
they say, just take it back. So
I'll send it to you in the
The
mail.
line all the
Hurry up.
way.
T-shirt
Yes.
received.
So we want to send a special message for Mr. Colm Imbert on Saturday through our
Wish
T-shirt.
him all the best.
All the best for this
From
season,
now
from
on.
Christmas into Carnival. Have yourself
And you did
the
mention.
mother. Have yourself the mother of
Oh,
all
Jesus
Carnival.
Oh Lord, oh Lord. Oh.
Oh God, yeah, but this anything you could take this to anything.
Yes.
Have yourself a McDonald's. She good.
Good God, no, not 20
Somebody, somebody took those beautiful letters that you put on the t-shirt and added an obscene thing to it about Hollis. I tell them I said she could have never mean that.
No.
This is
Actually, what I meant was help your mother country.
and if anybody needs to help their mother country,
It's
called.
Mr. Imbert. Yeah.
And you said you plan to change the names as we
Well,
go
the
along?
black ones are gonna have a special message for Mr. Rowley and Paris.
Doctor, the
So
Honorable.
you're gonna get 2 for the price of
So
1.
leaving Stuart out. Stuart want to have a Merry Christmas too.
Oh gosh, no, I have to have a little word with.
So where you going next? Where you going next? After the finance minister, where you going next? Straight? You're going straight?
Or we will tell him this, you know what we will do? We will open up the rum shop talk for every new version she have. How about that?
Yeah,
She
yeah,
can
yeah.
launch
I
them.
don't know where she's going next. What name? Who going on top? Who's the next name?
Rowley.
No, she said Rowley
Rowley,
and
okay,
Paris.
he's
She
next.
said Rowley and Paris. A
And,
special
well,
place in
gosh.
our heart for Paris.
Yes, Paris has been, such
You're
a.
giving Paris pink? Oh, what color is Paris? Pink?
He seems to like his black, but.
But Paris, if you're wearing Paris, won't have to be tight.
Yeah, but I was saying, so don't know lads. Don't
Black,
bring them in.
Paris won't have to be like those lady tees, baby tees,
Cap sleeve,
cap sleeve and things.
Yeah.
That's Paris.
Yeah, cap sleeve. No large, extra large. Just all small.
small.
Extra small and small.
Fitz,
And you have to have like the built-in pecs.
Fitzgerald, yeah, Paris, Fitzgerald own, Fitzgerald Hines.
Johnny Bravo pecs.
If you're doing one for Fitzgerald Hines, you gotta make sure the,
Shred it,
the
yeah, shred
piper in him don't show. You gotta make sure. So you gotta do a special design for Hines to keep the piper out. Stuart Young, I would make one with Army. He wanted to be a police bad this day.
You want to be a what?
He wanted to be a SRP, something he's ended up police.
Oh, Jesus.
Anyway, you have any closing comments, ma'am? was so
Legalize
nice
it.
of you.
Legalize it. Legalize it. Legalize the ganja.
And I just want to close off by saying we grew up in the same area in Cockreet.
Yeah?
Nazma Muller.
Where peaks was?
All the peaks and all that back
Oh, but we could have that conversation.
Nazma Muller.
No, but
We grew up in
listen-
the same yard in Cockreet.
Boss man, but you hear me talking about Cockreet, you let that pass.
But we
that,
built, we
that-
born, we run Cockreet for
I
years.
talk about Harding Place and Water.
Yeah, but got the block book. All by-
I used to walk from my house straight into the sea.
But I remember the gas station, that is Peaks gas station.
The little gas station,
The
yeah.
sea used to hit
And
the
then
road.
Lynn's nightclub, a little club used to go and shoot pool.
Yeah.
Run down away.
Lynn's Inn. I used to shoot pool there, but
I used to-
before Carter buy it.
Okay,
and
Glenn's
take it.
Jewelry. You remember the yard with Glenn's Jewelry?
Yeah.
We was down there. We grew up in it. Look at that. What's that?
Look at
All
that.
that chat hole in
Yeah,
there. We grew up in the
yeah.
same yard.
We will come back at this again, you will come back again, because that's a whole conversation by itself. That whole community.
Yeah.
That whole bowl of
Harding Place
now,
water hole, I up
that
inside it.
facing-
Pushets, Raquel,
All the pushets, yeah?
Yeah.
All the
That facing Bayside.
Lorraine.
That was Tugs and Lighters. That was Tugs and Lighters, brother.
Yeah.
When the tide go out, we used to go down there and get marbles and I used to find money. I used to find people money and take this floating. No Cockreet, we run Cockreet. Then Asma place she taking there. We grew up together and we said, baby, run and round the place, no pants and no kind of thing.
When you're business in the road.
When your mother said, go inside.
Thank Indira
Indira.
for joining us as a co-host
Yeah, man.
today,
Thanks for
Stephen
drinking.
Matterson.
Thanks for drinking
A
slow.
drinking partner. You have a drinking
Slow.
partner.
Slow. Very slow.
I know, there are people outside.
I go drink to that.
We in the rum shop.
Yeah. Yeah.
We in the rum shop.
Yeah.
We in the rum shop.
Yeah. Yeah.
We in the rum shop.
Yeah.
So bring our rum, bring it come in the rum shop talk.
Yeah.
So bring our rum, bring it come in the rum shop talk.
Yeah. Yeah.